So take your time to get comfy on the back of the body. If that is not a comfortable place for you, then maybe you roll over onto this. And once you feel that you're starting to settle, you might close your eyes or just soften or relax your gaze. And then have a little check-in. Is there anything that you would like to change about the position that you've chosen? Anything that's a little bit distracting or annoying? Clothes, hair, accessories. So just any final little adjustments to allow you to be even a fraction more comfortable. And we're going to arrive and help ourselves to ground with just a little humming practice. So to the rhythm of your own breath, you'll breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you'll just you'll inhale. Just continue like that. Let's take 3 more. Now without the hum, just focus on your breath. And the breath in through the nose. Maybe breathe out through the nose if that feels okay. If you've got a blocked nose or anything like that, it's perhaps out, breath through the lips. Just see if you can stay with this fluid movement of the breath. As part of stretch and rest, you might feel like sometimes you take a deeper, more conscious breath. More than welcome to be vocal with your breath and sigh. So anything that helps to just bring a little bit of softness and release into body. Maybe your out breaths are also about just softening and releasing through the mind. You are also more than welcome, if the mind becomes quite busy at points, just to come back to humming. You might just take 1 hum, 2 or 3, just to bring yourself back into the moment. And how does your body feel? End of the week? Maybe you've had quite a busy week, more of a relaxed week. Just take note of anything that your body might be communicating with you now. and continue to do that through your practice. If it's something that you like to work with, that resonates with you, it can be really nice in more quiet practice and still practice to work with an intention or an affirmation or a mantra. It's not important, what you call it. In Yoga Nidra, we call it sankalpa. So there might just be something that you are bringing into your world, just maybe this next part of your practice. Maybe it's for the weekend, a bit of peace, or maybe a bit of energy. So if there is something that resonates, you might place left hand on the heart and just call that in. And as you next exhale, just allow that to be released into the universe. You can come back to it at any point. And let's start to bring a little bit of movement then into our body. So perhaps you keep the eyes closed. You're not worried about what your movement looks like, what anyone else is doing. Just starting to awaken the way that you feel your body is. So it might be that you need a bit of a bigger stretch and expand. Might be just a little wiggle. You might yawn. Maybe it's to give parts or areas of your body a little massage or a rub, a tap, a squeeze. So just take your time. I'm going to take a little bit longer just to explore this idea of reawakening. And then let's bring the knees in towards us. So first of all, we'll give them a little squeeze, or maybe we're squeezing the backs of the thighs, whatever we can look for. Just having a rock from side to side, then perhaps we hold the knees and make circular motion. So we're circling through the lower back, just nice and slow. And then let's take hold of each kneecap in the palm of the hand, and we'll roll the knees away from each other and then back in towards each other. So we're opening out and kind of circling round and back in. So again, just nice and slowly. Pause and take that in the opposite direction. Let's bring the knees back in towards each other. So we're going to move into a reclined version of child's pose. You're probably all familiar with child's pose. So you could have knees together and just gently be drawing on the backs of your thighs to bring the knees in towards you. If you've eaten your dinner before the practice, that might feel a bit too much on the digestive system. So think about wide leg child's pose. So you're taking the knees wider. You don't have to bring the inner edge of the feet together. You might choose to cross the feet instead. And again, you can just gently draw on the backs of the thighs. So we're still getting this really nice benefit in your spine, in your hips, the compression of the legs. it can sometimes just be a more gentle way than kneeling. We're going to take a minute here. So it's up to you. If you feel the urge to kind of be moving a little bit here, then do. But try not to move if you feel like I'm just avoiding being still. So, I'm just going to like move just for the sake of it. So our movement is intentional rather than just for the sake of moving. If you can, come back to steady breath. Let the face soften and the shoulders. Another nice way of working with this is with a strap. So you can just strap across the knees or behind the thighs. We bring the arms down so it's even less energy for the arms. Last couple of breaths here. Let's keep that right knee in towards us. Interlace now over the shin if we can reach behind the thigh. If not, plant your left foot down onto the ground. Bring that right knee out as far as you can. So we kind of miss squishing into the ribs, almost like we want to tuck it under the armpit. A little flex to your right foot. So curl the toes back towards you. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, if it feels okay for you, slide that left leg down onto the mat and have a little flex of that foot as well. So in a gentle way, we're using a little bit of energy to draw that right knee in, a little bit of energy to push the left foot away. Again, you could be still here. I mean, we're never kind of like statue still, but you might choose to focus on stillness. If it feels right, but not for the sake of it, you might just gently rotate through that right hip socket. You might just be mooching from side to side on the lower back. So it's up to you. You tap into what you need. And we're going to take a minute. Just keep that face soft, jaw relaxed, shoulders drawn down away from the ears. Last few breaths. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, release your hold off that right leg. Up to you where you go now. You might bring both of the feet to the earth. You might extend both of the legs. We're going to just take a short rebound. You might come back to the breath, placing the hands onto the belly, come back to intention with a hand to the heart, whatever you need, just to maintain that bit of presence and focus. Let's take it over to the other side, but with no rush. So we bring that left knee in towards us. We step the right foot to the earth. Catch hold of what works, draw it out. So we're not squashing into the side ribs. Flex the foot. Stay where you are, or as you breathe out, you might slide the right leg down onto the mat. And again, flex that foot. So just feeling that energy of drawing in, pushing away. Soften the shoulders and the jaw. Let's take a minute here. As you exhale, release that foot. Do whatever you need to do or nothing, just for the next few breaths, and then we'll start to work our way up slowly in a minute from down on the mat, just to more of a seated short sequence. So to come up, let's just roll it to the right. So roll all the way over. Take that left arm over with you. There's no rush. And then push yourself up. Come onto the bum, take the knees wide and bring the soles of the feet together. So we're coming into butterfly. So move your heels nicely away from your groin. If you feel like your hips dip backwards and your spine rounds a little bit, then grab something, pop it underneath the bum so you've got a little bit of lift. Just tilt the hips forwards. I'm going to take a breath in. And as we breathe out, just slowly start to slide our way down. We might stop halfway just to see how that feels. Take another breath in. As we breathe out, we're not forcing, we're just open to seeing where our forward fold takes us to. If it doesn't feel okay for the head to just be heavy, just get your bolster and pop it on the inner edges of the feet and just let your head soften there. And we're going to be here for 2 minutes. So at this moment, kind of start to think, does it feel a little bit too much for the legs? Do I want to grab my blocks and prop them behind my thighs? Or do I feel okay here? So we are looking for some form of sensation. This isn't restorative yoga, although some of the shapes do cross over. And you're in control of the sensation. So you could choose within certain shapes just to back off a little bit, or with your breath, see if there is a deeper space to move to. Deeper is not better, it's just different expression. Keep the breath steady, the mind quietly focused. We've got just over a minute here. Letting the face soften, the shoulders, that rounding of the spine. Last couple of breaths. Nice and slowly. So the importance of how we move away from our position, just coming all the way back up. Maybe take a breath at neutral spine. Decide where you want to be from there. Sometimes it's helpful to just close the eyes. My body is just saying, oh, I want to extend the legs. Your body might be saying something different. So take whatever it is that you need. From here, we'll take it into a twist. You can stay exactly as you are in the position you're in. You can cross the legs, extend them. Just breathing in, push the bum down, lift the crown of the head. As you breathe out, just gently turn to the right-hand side. So nothing too fancy. We'll take the right fingertips behind. We can use a prop if we need to. Left hand just rests wherever. Inhale, sitting nice and tall. Exhale, maybe there's a bit of space for us to twist, but we're not forcing, we're certainly not trying to drag the lower spine round with us, nor the neck. You might even drop the chin to the chest. Let's take a few breaths here. Take a breath in the twist. As you breathe out, keep the spine tall, just come back to center. Breathe in there, breathing out, opposite side. So just see how that feels. And inhale, we're tall. And exhale, we're just gently opening to the left. Take a breath in the twist. Let's breathe out and come to center. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees now. If you want to come onto your back instead. So just nice and slowly. If you have got any issues with kneeling at the moment, or you're feeling like, oh, I'd just rather be down on the earth instead, then take that. So if we're on hands and knees, we're just going to have a sway of the hips and cat and cow. If we're on back of body, we can still absolutely sway the hips. Our alternative might just be we're working through gentle bridge positions. So essentially, wherever we are, we're just working our way through the spine a little bit. Then you might just close the eyes. Let the movement and the breath lead you. And let's step our right foot forward. So if you're on the back of the body, bring the right knee in towards you, extend the left leg. So from here, we'll maybe use our blocks or our bolster. We'll take a little breath in. And then as we breathe out, if we're on the hands and the feet, we'll let our upper body just soften down inside that leg. If we're on the back of the body, we're just essentially doing a lunge on the back of the body. So wherever you want it to be. We're going to take 1 minute here. Let's soften into the face and the shoulders if we can. Support the back knee if you need to, or maybe just slide the knee a little bit out of line of your hip. Sometimes it can feel like there's too much pressure. Back of body, we're bending that right knee to whatever angle feels okay for us and extending the left leg. So we're basically kind of emulating the shape of a lunge just on the back. Halfway there. Last few breaths. If we're on the back of the body, we're going to bend into the left knee, pop the foot to the earth, and we're going to cross the right leg over to come into our figure 4 shape, so our reclined pigeon. If we're on the front of the body, we're just going to carefully start to shimmy that right foot across to the left edge of the mat. We'll draw the heel in and bring ourselves down through back body into our pigeon position or swan. And it's absolutely fine in my classes. I know for some teachers it's not. I don't know what their problem is. If you just drop to one side, this is just called deer. It's a different shape. So if you're kind of like, oh, do you know what, like that's just a bit much for my hips, just pop your bum onto one side and you can still turn your hips forwards a little bit. We'll take a breath in. As you breathe out, just start to make your way down onto your front. If you want your bolster or a couple of blocks to support the head. If you're on the back of the body and you want to intensify your stretch a little bit, then you might lift the left foot away from the earth. Draw the knee in towards you and maybe interlace the hands behind that left thigh. Just gently be squeezing it in towards you. So wherever we are, we're going to take a minute here. And there's that constant connection with our body. So it's always giving us messages. Sometimes it might be quieter. It tends to be quieter when it's just like, oh, this is nice. And then if it becomes a little bit too much, it's like, shit, this hurts, sort of thing. So we want to go somewhere into listening before the shit, this hurts bit. We're halfway there. Keep relaxing into the face, the shoulders, let that drift down the back body into the tips of your extended toes. Last few breaths. We're super mindful about how we come out of this. So if we're on back of body, we can release the legs, plant the feet down. Maybe we like it there or we slide them away. If we're on front of body, just starting to push ourselves up. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, just shimmy it in towards you, and we'll take the front foot back. From here, you might want to come into a seat. You might want to come into a child's pose. You decide. If you're on back of body, remember how we practice child's pose at the beginning. Knees in towards the chest, together or wider, or you could just be in constructive rest. Feet step wide, knees knock in. Close the eyes, take a deep breath. Oh. Let's just take a pause and reset here. And we're just going to come back to our humming. So breathing in. Take 4 more. Last one, let the body soften. Return to your breath. And we're going to take it over to the other side. So if you're on the back, you'll drop the feet to the earth. If we're on the front, we'll come first into our tabletop. Then we'll take our left foot forwards. Back of body, we'll bring the left knee in. So we're coming into our lunge before our pigeon. Right, so extend the right leg, bend your left knee on back of body. If we're on front, we'll take a breath in. We'll have blocks, bolster, stacking things, whatever you need. And as we breathe out, just letting the head be heavy, the elbows soften, adjusting that back knee or supporting that back knee as you feel it needs it. Take a nice deep breath and release. Yeah. Let's take a minute here. And certain parts of our body are active here. There's muscle engagement, of course, as we just be like, woo, floppy jelly. But try and soften the bits that you can. So the jaw, the forehead, the shoulders, maybe the fingertips, depending on where they are. Last few breaths here. Back of body, we're going to pop that left foot down. Right foot down on the earth, sorry, cross the left leg over. If we're on the front of the body, it's going to start to shimmy our way into our pigeon, or maybe we end up coming into deer and we just drop it to the side and bend that back knee a little bit. Breathe in, so just find that little bit of space and lift. And as you breathe out, we're keeping the hips as forwards as we can, but if that back one drags back a little bit, so be it. If you want that added bit of intensity in your reclined version, then you could start to lift the right foot away from the earth, take the hands behind that right thigh, just be gently squeezing the knees in towards you. And we just make any tiny little adjustments along the way that we feel we might need to. Can we release? Sometimes we actually need to go the opposite way and say, I just need to come back out of that a little bit. halfway there. On back of body, we're going to unravel, drop the feet to the earth. If we're on front of body, we'll just press through the hands. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, draw it in towards you, step the front foot back. Where do you want to go from there? Do you want a seat? Do you want a child's pose? Do the hips need a wiggle? Same on the back of the body. The legs might want to extend, the knees might want to come in towards you. Just going to take a couple of moments here. And then if you are on the back of the body, if you just roll to your side and push yourself up, you're going to come back down, but I just want you to kind of see where we're going next. So we're going to come into a supported back bend. So we'll take the bolster and just give it a shape sort of from the top. So you want the puffiest, the most full bit at the bottom, which is going to be the bit that supports your spine. So we'll pop the bolster down, move our bum right up to it. You could use a blanket just to support your head if you wish. Bend the knees, just start to lower yourself down. So the bum is off the bolster, but the head is on. Unless, which I'm looking at your physiques, I don't think anyone's got a spine that's so long that their head is going to drift off. If when you get there, you're like, oh, that's quite a big opening for my spine, just gently come back up. Maybe you pop some bolsters underneath, pop some blocks underneath your bolster. You might change how the legs are. So you might come into butterfly. You might extend the legs forward, let the toes just roll out. It might feel absolutely fine for you to be on your feet. Okay, instead, we will go supported bridge maybe. Yeah. You can use your bolster, but it's going to be a little bit higher, so you could use your block. Same options for your feet. Yeah, perfect. So we're going to take 2 minutes. Yeah. So as best you can, just let the shoulders relax. They're kind of drifting and hanging down by the side of the body a little bit. Let's pop the backs of the hands to the earth so the palms of the hands are up to the sky. Increase the opening in the front of the heart and the chest. Make sure that your legs are comfortable. Again, it's not about we don't want any sensation. We want some, but we don't want it to be like, oh no, this just doesn't feel right. Got just over a minute here. If it helps, remind yourself of your intention. Be the watcher of your breath. Something within the practice. Just this bit that's left out of the one single hour that maybe you might have had to just relax for yourself, to rest for yourself this week. Last few breaths. Catherine, if you just roll to your side and come up. The rest of us, we're going to use our elbows or our hands to push into the air, tuck the chin into the chest so we're not throwing the neck back up, and then roll back up. We'll meet just in a seat of your choice. So it might be legs crossed, extended, feet together. If it feels okay, just close down the eyes. Feel that space between the earlobes and the shoulders. We're going to take a breath in, just tilt the chin up to the sky. If the mouth feels like it wants to open here, allow that. Next exhale, drop the chin down to the chest. Just take that a couple more times. So it's slow movement. I'm not kind of thrashing the head up and down. Just really consciously opening through the throat space and then through the back of the neck. If at any point it doesn't feel okay, we pause just in neutral spine and neck. Let's come back to a central space. We breathe in here. And then controlled again as we breathe out, we drift the right ear over to the right shoulder. We're not lifting the shoulder to touch the ear. We're not pushing the ear down to touch the shoulder. It's just however it falls. Inhale when it's there, back to center. Exhale to the left. And just continue like that. Your own pace. If at any point it's like, nah, not okay, you might feel a little stretch down the side. For some people, it might go into back of body, into your shoulder blade. And then bring the head back to center. We're going to start to gently circle then through the body. So it's like we're rolling through the pelvic bowl. Just let the head be relaxed, the shoulders. Breath is smooth. Pause, roll it around the opposite direction. And then come back to neutral. Optional, if you want to, you could use a little bit of your essential oil just to enhance your relaxation. So there is either rosemary or lavender. Just pop a couple of drops into the palm of the hands. Jay is laughing and so is Sharon because this is the point. Jay normally splashes himself with oil in the lights. Time for your weekly wash, Jay. Yeah, he secretly whips out his Old Spice. He's like, oh, lady's gonna love me tonight. I do actually like the scent of Old Spice. So rubbing it together. And then you might just pop a bit onto the jawline, back of the neck, anywhere that feels nice. It could be that you're practicing palming, so creating the heat in the hands, and then just opening the hands over certain areas. So if that's a healing energy that we're bringing to the body. And really slowly and mindfully, so we've got plenty of time. Have a sip of your drink if you need it, pop your socks on if you want to, or extra layers. And then just gather everything down by the side of your mat within reaching distance that you might want for Shavasana. So once we're down on the ground, we can just stay there and enjoy that. Take yourself down onto the earth slowly once you're ready. So maybe just bending the knees, popping onto the elbows. Oh. Sounded like someone's doing a sleeping bag then. Wow. Just had camping nostalgia. So last thing we're going to work through is just a little twist and then an optional reclined butterfly. You can absolutely use your bolster behind the knees if you want to. Equally, if you're kind of like, I want to lay down, I just want to relax, then just do that. You do you. For our twist, we'll place the feet onto the ground. We'll have a little push down into the feet, just to slide our bum to the left of the mat. We'll let the knees roll over to the right, keeping the upper body nice and open. Maybe we just let the arms fall out a little bit wider. Backs of the hands to the earth, open up through the chest. And another option could be to turn the gaze to the left. Stay with that steady breath. Let's slowly bring the knees and the gaze back to center. Pop your feet to the earth. Take a full breath. Just feel that energy of grounding. And then shimmying your bum to the right, knees to the left. Drafting the gaze over to the right if you wish. See how the neck feels. Let's bring the knees back to center. And a couple of options here. If you're still open to, just for a couple of breaths, exploring the inner lines of the legs and the hips, we could come back into butterfly. If you prefer, you could bring the knees together, step the feet out. So if you feel like my hips have done enough work for now, I'd rather come into internal rotation than bring the knees together. Just relax the hands and the arms where it feels soft and natural. Let the face soften. Maybe you stay here for a few more breaths, or if there is something else that is calling you, a shape, a little massage or a squeeze, and then take that. If we're still in our reclined butterfly, we'll gently draw the knees back together. Maybe have one last little roll on the spine, nice and slow. And then find your way into your version of Shavasana. Back of the body, side of the body. If you want to sit, then just slowly roll to the right and come to a seat. You might want a bolster behind the knees, a pillow for the head, a blanket for the body. So please don't rush, just take your time. Set yourself up nicely. Perhaps you start to close the eyes or soften, focus the gaze. And just checking you are as comfortable as can be. Softening into the toes, the soles and the heels of your feet. The ankles, the lower legs, the knees. Soften into the thighs, the hips, the glutes. Letting the spine settle from lower to mid, upper. Sense of spreading, releasing the shoulders. Softening into the upper arms, the elbows, lower arms, wrists, into the hands, each fingertip, each thumb tip. A comfortable heaviness of the back of the head, softening into the forehead, the cheeks, the jaw. As you breathe out, the whole of the body, the whole of the body softens. Nothing else to do, nothing else more important than the whole of the body softening. If the mind isn't quite as soft, come to an intention, come to your breath. Just find that gentle point of presence for Shavasana. Perhaps begin to deepen your breath. Take a nice deep breath in, sigh out. And slowly bring awareness back to your body. Maybe you need a stretch or just a little wiggle, whatever you are called to as you start to reawake. And eventually, just in a sleepy way, just roll yourself to the side, whichever side calls to you. Just be mindful of who and what is in your space. Snuggle on the side of the body like you're in bed. You might yawn, that's okay. We're all probably, tired, overworked, underrested. And slowly start to push your way up to a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. Sit nice and tall, again, feel that space between the ears and the shoulders. And we'll close our eyes. You might place the hands onto the heart. You might bring the palms together in Namaskar. And just like that humming, you could continue with one big hum in a moment, or you might choose to om. You might choose to just listen. So this is all about vibration. We'll take a breath in a moment. And as we breathe out, we'll om, hum, or listen. So inhale. Om. Breathe in. Nice deep breath out. Maybe we drop the chin to the chest, like we're bowing to ourselves, thanking ourselves, being here for showing up on a Friday evening, thanking our body, breath, mind. Also thanking each other for sharing our Friday evening together. And of course, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful weekend filled with whatever you need. The light and dark in me honors the light and dark in you. Namaste.